The Friday Sports Riot on SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up? This is the Friday Sports Riot on SportsTownChicago.com. I'm Ryan Hoppy.
And I'm Ryan Stuffridge.
To call the show, 630-403-5200. It's 630-403-5200. And enough of the shenanigans. On the phone line from Grand Rapids, he is the host of the Gravy and Raechel morning show on Hot 105.3 FM. He is the White Sox analyst for our show, and he is on SportsTownChicago.com right now. What's up, Gravy?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
We are doing good. So since the last time we've had you on the show, how has everything been on the Gravy and Raechel morning show?
Things have been going great, just having a lot of fun and acting stupid and getting paid. So the checks are still clearing, so it's all good.
Well, that's good to hear. And let's talk about the White Sox right now. How has this year been for you so far for the White Sox?
I think that obviously it's been surprising hitting-wise. We have one of the best hitting teams in baseball.
Yeah.
But obviously the most disappointing thing is having the worst bullpen in baseball. And losing Avi Garcia is obviously horrible. But it's good to see that Abreu has really kind of stood up to what we thought he would be.
And is this hot start just like a fad, or is this going to be sort of how they are the whole year, sort of hovering around 500?
You know, I think a lot of people didn't even expect them to hover around 500, but if you look at the division, there's like 1.5 games that divides everybody. Even the Twins are in it. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how it shapes out.
Where do you think the White Sox will be, let's say, in late May to like June? Will they be around the 500 mark, or will we look back and just say, well, that was a good April?
I think that it all depends on the bullpen, but they've already shown, like, you know, they released the Donnie Veals out there now. They let him go unless he clears waivers and comes back to the White Sox. So I think they're trying to send a message to the bullpen that, you know, if you can't perform, then you're not going to play. So I think that's good, you know, because obviously the bullpen needs to be better. So I think where we're going to be at will determine based on our bullpen, which is not promising right now. So if the bullpen stays the way it is, I would say that we'd probably end up being an under 500 team. We could have 3 or 4 more wins if it wasn't for the bullpen and be in first place alone.
A few nights ago, Adam Eaton had a nice highlight play as he robbed David Ortiz of a home run. Gravy, I want to get your take on this. What went right with that play?
Well, you know, I just really think I like him in center field because he kind of gets a really good read off the ball, and he's a gamer. So I think that's what really works, and it's really cool to see that we have an outfielder that can take runs back and keep them in the park.
And do you think that Tyler Flowers has become more of a consistent hitter now because he's got a good batting average? He's batting at the bottom of that lineup, but it seems like he's doing everything right to get on base.
You know, I'm surprised because I was one of those people that just wanted him off the team and thought he would never get better. But he seems to be realizing that he doesn't have to muscle everything out of the park. Like, he can get base hits. I mean, he's so good, I actually put him on my fantasy baseball team this week. And if you would have told me I would have done that in the off season, I would have said you're crazy.
Right. And another guy that's really burst onto the scene for the White Sox so far this year has been Alexi Ramirez, where he has that giant hitting streak. I mean, is he just seeing the ball really well, or what's going on there? How's he getting all these hits?
Well, you know, I think he is seeing the ball really well, and I also think that the problem was last year he had a lot of, you know, almost hits, you know, and it just seems like everything is kind of landing for him. And I think you get players like that are in a zone where they're just seeing the ball no matter where you put it. I think the best part about this team and why they're hitting so well is they have patience at the plate. Like, I've never looked up this stat, but I bet if you looked up a team that makes the pitchers throw the most pitches in an outing, I would bet the White Sox would be up there because
no doubt.
Very patient, waiting on their pitches.
What is your take on Chris Sale so far in the 2014 season?
I think he looks great. I thought yesterday a lot of first pitch balls, which is kind of really unlike him, which gets his pitch count up there. And I kind of figured yesterday we're going to lose the game in the fifth inning because he's around 82 pitches, and that means that we're going to go to our bullpen. And it seems like in order for us to win a game, our pitchers have to throw complete games. So I was surprised that he's not throwing first pitch strikes like pitching coach Don Cooper really preaches.
What is your take as Adam Dunn is around the 260 average mark? Did you expect this from him, or is he past your expectations so far?
I didn't expect it from him, but it's kind of crazy that, in a contract year, how all these players all of a sudden hit better, which I'm happy for because obviously it's good for us. And if at the middle mark of the season, if it doesn't look like we're going to go very far, we can get something for the bust contract that we've had of Adam Dunn. But Adam Dunn, hopefully he keeps it up.
Do you think it's an issue that Robin Ventura seems to go through his bullpen really fast as he changed? I think a couple nights ago he changed like four. He had four changes like in the same inning. Do you think that that's a problem, or do you think he just has no faith in the bullpen?
I think the game that you're talking about is when our bullpen walked like four people in the same inning,
yeah.
And that was against the Red Sox.
Right.
I'm not really, I've heard a lot of people that are against that, but I'm not really against that because usually the White Sox have always been the type of team that, first off, always plays the most expensive players, which isn't always the case anymore. And also when it comes to pitching, they put a pitcher out there, they let him get, hit really hard. And then, I like the fact that, hey, you're not working, then I'm going to go get somebody else who works. But I think the reason why he does that is he has no confidence in this bullpen. So he's hoping to get lucky and find somebody on a good day that can actually get us out of an inning.
And now I want to get your take on this. Let's say in the next few months, when it gets closer to the playoffs, which team will be ahead in the division? Will this be a close division, or will there be one team that's like running away with it?
I think we're kind of getting lucky. The Tigers' bullpen has not been so hot, but the Tigers will go spend the money in the middle of the season to get the bullpen they need. So I would say that the Tigers would probably be in first, and you're going to be looking at a tight second. I mean, even Minnesota playing 500 ball is shocking to a lot of people.
And now with the bullpen over in Detroit, what's been going on with Phil Koch? Because he is a player that goes back and forth. Sometimes he has good games, but recently he's been bad for them. What's been going on with him?
I haven't. All I hear from Tiger fans here, living in Michigan, obviously, is that they just don't like him. Now, I thought because the Tigers had a chance to only pay him a shorter amount, a lot less amount of money if they would have got rid of him and not brought him up to start the season. So I was kind of surprised that they brought him up. But that's kind of the pitcher he is. He's hot and he's cold, but a lot of times he's cold.
Now, with this bullpen for the Tigers, is there any chance that they miss Jim Leland, or is that just like a coincidence?
I never thought that Jim Leland was that great of a manager, and I think a lot of Tiger fans believe that too. I just think that it's kind of like what the White Sox are doing. I don't really think it's coaching or anything. I just think that you just have players who can't get the ball over the plate, or when they do get the ball over the plate, they're getting in bad counts and they're throwing it right up the middle. I don't really think it's a Leland thing.
Now, before we let you go, are you doing anything fun over the weekend?
Over the weekend, I am probably just playing MLB The Show.
Cool.
Nice.
Can't go wrong with that.
Well, Gravy.
Right, and that's about it.
Well, Gravy, have a good weekend, and we look forward to having you on again on SportsTownChicago.com.
Always love coming on with you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gravy. And that was Gravy from Hot 105.3 FM up in Grand Rapids, the host of the Gravy and Raechel Morning Show, as he came on to Friday Sports Riot on SportsTownChicago.com to talk about the White Sox. We're going to come back and wrap everything up on the Friday Sports Riot. But first, Ryan, where can people tweet you?
You can tweet at me at Ryan Stuprich, STUP-Rich, or STUPRICH if you prefer. And how about you?
I'm at Hoppy Radio 893. If you want to call the show and get on the air and give your opinion on what either James Gomez said about the Rockies at 4 or what Wayne Randazzo said at 4:30 about Chicago baseball in general, or what Mark Grody
said about the Hawks and the playoffs and the Bulls and whatnot.
John Wall possibly exploding.
Hey, it's possible. I'm telling you. I could see him putting up like 30 points and then having them lose by still losing. I know the Bulls will win the series.
Yeah, that's what me and Ryan were talking about during break. That's what I think is going to happen. And if you want to call and talk about Gravy and his take on the White Sox and Jim Leland not being that good of a manager, 630.
Yeah, that was a little interesting.
I can see where he's coming from. I don't think he's the greatest manager, but I do think they're possibly missing him.
He has been to 2 World Series.
Yeah.
He's lost both, but he's been to 2 World Series.
Didn't he go to one with Pittsburgh?
He won with Pittsburgh in 1979.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, call the show and talk about what all our guests have said. If you want to get on real quick, 630-403-5200. It's 630-403-5200. We will be right back to close up shop after this. Hang on.
The Friday Sports Riot on SportsTownChicago.com.